Shalom to the elect of Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indian, and Haitians. Gotta give all praises and glory to Yahawah, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, who teach well, and a sincere salutation to all the occupants pushing this truth throughout the four winds of the earth, the entire world, waking up the hope for the elect. And shalom to the Yahawah who are listening and learning. You few sisters who are listening and learning. I'm Isaiah, coming into another lesson in truth, facts, faith, and edification. And this is just like a news update and the judgment of the Heavenly Father Yahawah and His Son Yahweh Shai. Lord, wouldn't this be edifying?
Hi, Courtney. Hi, Glenn. Grim details revealed just moments ago. Safe to assume officials say that all 34 passengers on this dive boat that turned into an inferno are dead. And we are seeing, too, more of the terrifying moments leading up to that. So it was just after 3 in the morning. The passengers were asleep on the lower deck. And the sheriff says they've seen no indication anyone below deck even managed to make it through the flames to get out. It appears the stairwell and an escape hatch to get out were both blocked by fire. And what was a search and rescue mission is now an effort to recover victims' remains.
We have suspended these search efforts due to no additional individuals having been witnessed entering the water. Our last aircraft overflight this morning has revealed that no additional signs of distress or debris has been witnessed.
Very early yesterday, the Mayday call started with harrowing pleas for help from the Conception. That's the name of this 75-foot boat. It was engulfed in flames off of Santa Cruz Island. 39 people on board for a holiday weekend diving excursion. Just 5 that we know of escaping, jumping overboard, all crew members who were already awake, we believe, and helped by Good Samaritans on a nearby boat. Dive teams this morning were seen heading out from the harbor. They're trying to find and retrieve the 14 remaining victims. The boat sank and now sits under 65 feet of water. 20 bodies have been recovered so far from the wreckage, only ID'd at this point as 11 females and 9 males. The sheriff saying because of their condition, the burns, most will need to be identified through DNA samples from family members who they are contacting today and working with. 100 calls at least so far from family and friends who believe loved ones were on board. And authorities say they will work exhaustively to figure out how and why that fire started that claimed all those lives.
Expending all necessary means to find out the cause and origin of the fire aboard this vessel in the county of Santa Barbara. We're sensitive to the fact that families are gathered today, some from outside of the area, to bring their loved ones home. And in many cases will only be faced with the ability to know that we recovered them.
Other questions answered at this press conference. The Coast Guard says vessels like the Conception are inspected annually, and this boat was in compliance. A Mayday call had raised some questions about if the escape hatches may have been locked or if there may not have been fire extinguishers on board. The Coast Guard official this morning clearing that up, saying there are no locked doors of that kind on vessels like this, and these boats are required to have fixed firefighting systems and a number of fire extinguishers. And again, this boat was in compliance with regulations. Now, back out here live. The cause of the fire remains a mystery, and as authorities, as first responders look to get evidence from the bottom of the sea and to recover those victims, a painstaking process, that's what will be going on today, along with beginning to collect those DNA samples. No timeline on how long it will take to identify those victims. For now,
Hey, it ain't no mystery. Okay? This is of the Heavenly Father Yahawah, man. This is judgment. This is 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 6. The Lord killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up. The Lord Yahawah maketh poor and maketh rich. He bringeth low and lifteth up. He raiseth up the poor out of the dust and lifteth up the beggar from the dunghill to set them among princes. and to make them inherit the throne of glory. For the pillar of the earth are the Lord's, and he hath set the world upon them. He will keep the feet of his saints, okay, the elect, and the wicked shall be silent in darkness, for by strength shall no man prevail, okay. The adversaries of the Lord Yahawah shall be broken to pieces. Out of heaven shall he thunder upon them. The Lord Yahawah shall judge the ends of the earth, and he shall give strength unto his king and exalt the horn of his anointed. Okay? Hey, this out there in California, Santa Cruz, man. Most likely, these are all Edomites. Okay? Could have been a Jake, and Edomites love hanging out with Jake. It might have been 1, 2 Jakes. But they looking for 34 bodies, man. Okay? And this is judgment, man. This is judgment. The Lord is judging, man. He just killed this Edomite, this female, racer, right? Who raced these land races. Said she was like one of the fastest one to race on land, right? Then he just took this baseball player from the Angels, man. The Lord is judging, okay? This is judgment, man. This is Deuteronomy 32 and 39. And it reads, see now that I am he, and there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. Okay? This is the work of the Heavenly Father, man. In this judgment, man. Okay? The Lord is coming down on these Edomites and 2/3 of Israel, man. Okay, he said what? Read it again in 1 Samuel. He say, he will keep the feet of his saints, and the wicked shall be silent in darkness. Okay? So he keep the feet of his saints, but the wicked shall be silent in darkness, man. This is Isaiah 45, verse 7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord Yahawah, do all these things. Okay? This is the work of the Heavenly Father, man. This is judgment. This is Ecclesiastes. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 8 and verse 8, and it reads, there is no man that have power over the spirit to retain the spirit, neither have he power in the day of death. Okay? So no one have power in the day of death, man. So the Lord, hey, you can't save yourself from death. There's nothing you can do, man. This is the work of the Heavenly Father, Yahawah Ba'ashim Yahushua, man. Okay? That's judgment, man.
Welcome to Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, The War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. A gunman killed 7 people and injured 22 others on Saturday in the city of Odessa in western Texas. The injured included a 17-month-old girl. Police have identified the gunman as 36-year-old Seth Ator and said he went on the rampage just hours after he was fired from his trucking job. Police say the massacre began after an officer pulled him over for failing to use a turn signal.
Hey, Jake lose jobs all the time, man, but they ain't killing themselves. Okay? And you Edomites, man. You Edomites are finished, man. And you Edomites lose your job, you lose everything, and you kill you, and you just go bananas, man. Okay? You Edomites was never working with a full deck, man. Jake been going through this for generations, man. Okay? You Edomites, hey, you lose what you got, and then you flip out, man.
He then reportedly opened fire using an AR-15 style weapon before speeding away. Soon after, he began shooting randomly at residents and motorists, at one point ditching his car to hijack a postal truck. He killed the woman driving the truck. He died in a shootout with police outside a movie theater in Odessa. A neighbor of the alleged gunman told CNN she reported him to police just last month after he threatened her with a rifle. But police apparently never visited his house because they couldn't find the property on GPS maps. The shooting came less than a month after 22 people were shot dead in a Walmart in El Paso. Less than one day after the Odessa mass shooting, a series of new laws weakening firearm regulations went into effect in Texas. Among other things, the new bills will make it easier to carry guns at schools, places of worship, and in disaster zones. The NRA hailed the bills, calling the latest legislative session, quote, highly successful. Texas Republican Governor Greg Abbott has repeatedly backed measures expanding gun ownership. In 2015, he tweeted, "I'm embarrassed. Texas #2 in nation for new gun purchases, behind California. Let's pick up the pace, Texans." NRA. Following the shooting, a slew of Democratic lawmakers, including 2020 candidates and congressional leaders, called again for legislative action on gun control, many calling for an assault weapons ban. We'll have more on the story after headlines.
Hey, when they ban them assault weapons, man, you can best believe Esau finna move in on you Jakes, man. Esau finna move in, man. If they get them assault weapons off the market, man, guess what? Hey, martial law coming, and you can believe that, man. Okay, this is Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 11. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the hearts of the sons of men is full of setting them to do evil. And the Edomite, okay, and the sons of the wicked, the sons of men and the sons of the wicked. Though a sinner do evil 100 times, and his days be prolonged, yet surely I know that it shall be well with him that feareth God, which fear before him. But it shall not be well with the wicked, because the wicked don't know fear, man. Neither shall he prolong his days, which are as a shadow, because he feareth not before Yahawah Bashim Yahushua. These Edomites don't fear, man. Okay, and though you see them doing wickedness, man. Okay, it said again, Ecclesiastes 8 and 11, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily. Hey, guess what, man? The Lord watching everything, man. Hey, and the curses is on these Edomites, man.
In more news about gun violence, a federal court ruled survivors and relatives of victims of 2015's massacre at Mother Emanuel AME Church in Charleston, South Carolina, can sue the U.S. government for its failure in the firearms background check system. 9 black worshipers were killed in the mass shooting. Dylan Roof purchased a semi-automatic pistol from a licensed gun seller, but the agent who...
Hey, they shouldn't have been in them holler houses anyway, man. They said 9 black worshipers. They should have been there in the first place, man. Okay? The Lord, hey, when you read Acts 7:48, the Lord dwelleth not in the temple made with hands, man. So they shouldn't have been in the church in the first place. Okay, that was judgment, man. The Lord requires that which is past, man. The scripture tell you, if you was wicked in your previous life, you're going to get judged for it now, man. Okay? If you was righteous in your previous life, you're going to be part of the ministry, man. You're either going to be a prophet or you're going to be a helper, man. Thus saith the Lord. So them 9, what they call 9 black worshipers that was in that Harlot house, when this Edomite came in and chopped them down like tree wood, man. Hey, that was judgment of the Lord, man.
who was charged with verifying his background, failed to obtain a police report of a past drug-related infraction, which would have barred him from legally acquiring the weapon. Following the shooting, then FBI Director James Comey admitted he should not have been permitted to purchase the gun. Dylan Roof was found guilty on 33 counts of federal hate crimes and sentenced to death in 2017. Hurricane Dorian is continuing to devastate the Bahamas, where deadly winds and flooding killed 5 people, left many more stranded in the Grand Bahama and Abaco Islands over the weekend. At one point, the storm was the second most powerful hurricane ever recorded in the Atlantic Ocean. It pummeled.
And look it up, man. Yahawah got this hurricane just hovering in Bahamas, man. Why did the Lord bring hurricanes? To get rid of the wicked, man. Just like Hurricane Katrina. Just like the hurricane that hit Houston. Just like the hurricane that hit Puerto Rico. Okay? Just like the hurricane that hit Haiti. The Lord is bringing judgment, man, in all these places, man. Okay? He tell you in Isaiah 29. Matter of fact, let me read it. Isaiah 29, it reads, Isaiah 29:6. Thou shalt be visited of the Lord Yahawah of hosts with thunder and with earthquake and great noise, with storm and tempest and the flame of devouring fire. Right? And when you go to Isaiah 28:2, behold, the Lord Yahawah will have a mighty and strong one, which as a tempest of hail and a destroying storm, as a flood of mighty waters overflowing, shall cast down to the earth with the hand. So the Lord got all, when he bring these hurricanes, man, he is cleaning up the wicked, man, out of these places. So you can see the hurricane is just hovering in Bahamas, man, cleaning it up, man. Okay? Because the Akim that's over there in Bahamas, man, they good, man. But guess what? The wicked over there getting judged, man.
The Bahamas with winds up to 180 miles per hour before stalling over the region. This is Prime Minister of the Bahamas, Hubert Minnis.
We are in the midst of a historic tragedy in parts of northern Bahamas.
Look at them Jakes over. Look at them Jakes, man.
Focus now is search, rescue,
Prime Minister of Bahamas. Them Jakes, man.
I ask for your prayers for those in affected areas and for our first responders.
He told me he asked for prayers. Hey, what did the Heavenly Father Yahweh say in Jeremiah 11, man? Pray not for these people, man. Why? Because they will not turn from their wickedness, man. And they're going to be judged for it. Okay? And this is just the beginning, man. These are some of the beginnings of sorrows, man. The Lord said, pray not for these people, man. Now, he's supposed to be a prime minister of Bahamas. What he a minister of? He ain't telling the people how the Lord work. He not telling the people that this hurricane is from the Heavenly Father Yahweh, man. He on news talking about pray for us. Hey, the Lord say, pray not for none of these people, man. Because 2/3 of Jake gonna be destroyed.
Hurricane Dorian made landfall as a Category 5 storm, but President Trump claimed over the weekend he'd never heard of Category 5. The U.S. has in fact been threatened by 4 Category 5 storms during Trump's presidency alone.
He never heard of He never heard of Category 5. Well, you ain't heard of judgment of the Lord neither until now, ain't no.
Trump also denied knowing what a Category 5 storm was in 2017 when Hurricane Irma struck Florida, and in 2018 when Hurricane Michael hit Florida.
It's
Trump
judgment,
also
man.
caused confusion Sunday by falsely suggesting Alabama would be hit by Hurricane Dorian. His tweet, one of at least 122 he posted this weekend, was quickly denied by the National Weather Service. Trump spent the long weekend golfing at his club in Virginia despite the hurricane and the massacre in West Texas. Dorian is expected to continue its destructive path toward Florida, Georgia, and the Carolinas. We'll have more on Hurricane Dorian later in the broadcast.
And that's judgment, man. The Lord is judging, man. Okay? I want to bring this out, too.
That's led a bombing campaign in Yemen, which has killed tens of thousands since 2015 and caused the death by starvation of an estimated 85,000 children.
85,000 children in Yemen, okay? Which them heathens, but guess what, man? And it could be some Jake among them, who knows? Hey, this is judgment of the Lord, man. And who's doing this? They just bomb Yemen, man. This is Esau. This is the work of Esau Edom, man.
This This comes as aid workers say over 100 people were likely killed Sunday when air raids launched by the U.S.-backed Saudi-led coalition leveled a prison in the southwestern city of Damar. This is Asa Mohammed, a prisoner who survived Sunday's attack.
The first strike came with the plane. I was by the window. I then went under the window as the walls came tumbling down my back. There were 8 people in the room and a total of 100. After the airstrikes, after about half an hour to an hour, they came to rescue people in the rooms yelling. I was yelling from underneath the rubble.
2020 presidential hopeful Bernie Sanders, who spearheaded the Senate's passage of a war powers resolution that would end U.S. involvement in the Yemen war, tweeted, quote, U.S.
Look it up, man. Look it up. You see you got Jake. You see you got Esau. You see you got, look it up, man. Dead bodies, man. Okay? Hey, this is the work of Esau Edom, man. This is the work of Esau Edom, man. This is what they do, man. This is what Esau Edom do, man.
End U.S. involvement in the Yemen war, tweeted, quote, U.S.
This is what Esau Edom do, okay?
Bombs, logistical support, and intelligence for the Saudi dictatorship's airstrikes make us complicit in this nightmare. Congress has declared this war unconstitutional. We must now stand up to Trump and defund all U.S. involvement in these horrors, Sanders said. Tensions between Israel and Hezbollah are mounting as both parties exchange fire across the Lebanese border Sunday. The Israeli military said it fired into southern Lebanon after Hezbollah missiles were launched at an army base near the border, while Hezbollah said it was responding to a drone attack by Israeli forces. Hezbollah leader Syed Hassan Nasrallah said Monday the exchange of fire had launched a new phase in the conflict with Israel and that the new focus would be on targeting Israeli drones that breach Lebanese airspace. In Colombia, right-wing President Ivan Duque said Friday 9 former FARC rebels, including a commander, were killed in a bombing raid. Last week, a group of former FARC rebels announced they were taking up arms again, accusing the Colombian government of failing to live up to the 2016 peace accord that ended 50 years of fighting. In more news from Colombia, a mayoral candidate for the town of Suarez in the Cauca region was killed along with at least 4 others while campaigning Sunday. Karina Garcia is the 5th candidate to be killed ahead of municipal elections next month. Garcia would have been the first female mayor of Suarez. She was recently threatened by armed men but refused to back down, publicly denouncing the attacks on her campaign.
Judgment of the Lord, man.
Back in the United States, the U.S. Coast Guard has recovered 25
Judgment of the Lord
bodies,
on Jake,
while
man.
another 9 are still missing after a commercial diving boat caught fire in the early hours Monday morning off the coast of Santa Cruz in Southern California. 5 crew members were able to escape after the blaze started. Authorities have yet to determine the cause of the fire. And a 17-year-old Palestinian student who was denied entry into the United States last month will start classes with his fellow Harvard freshmen today after he returned to the United States.
Then we don't care about that right there. So Lord willing, this will edify. Gotta give all praises and glory to Yahawah, Bahashim Yahawah, Bahashim Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, who teach well, and in sincere salutation to all the occupants pushing this truth throughout the 4 winds of the earth, waiting up the hope for the elect. They're going to play this one more time, man, because this is judgment of the Lord, man. Hey, it's going to be many, there's going to be many bodies dropping, okay, by the hundreds and thousands, just like these 34, man.
Glenn, grim details revealed just moments ago. Safe to assume officials say that all 34 passengers on this dive boat that turned into an inferno are dead. And we are seeing, too,
the judgment of the Heavenly Father,
the
Yahawah,
terrifying
man.
moments leading up to that. So it was just after 3 in the morning that passengers were asleep on the lower deck, and the sheriff says they've seen no indication anyone below deck even managed to make it through the flames to get out. It appears the stairwell and an escape hatch to get out were both blocked by fire, and what was a search and rescue mission is now an effort to recover victims' remains.
We have suspended these search efforts due to no additional individuals having been witnessed entering the water. Our last aircraft overflight this morning has revealed that no additional signs of distress or debris has been witnessed.
Very early yesterday, the Mayday call started with harrowing pleas for help from the Conception. That's the name of this 75-foot boat. It was engulfed in flames off of Santa Cruz Island. 39 people on board for a holiday weekend diving excursion. Just 5 that we know of escaping, jumping overboard, all crew members who were already awake, we believe, and helped by Good Samaritans on a nearby boat. Dive teams this morning were seen heading out from the harbor. They're trying to find and retrieve the 14 remaining victims. The boat.
Hey, you want to celebrate Labor Day? Hey, well, lay on down, man. Your ass back in the spirit world now. Okay?
Sank and now sits under 65 feet of water. 20 bodies have been recovered so far from the wreckage, only ID'd at this point as 11 females and 9 males. The sheriff saying because of their condition, the burns.
And that's another thing, man. It's going hey, you could best believe it's gonna be way more females that's gonna get put to death by the Heavenly Father Yahawah than men. Okay? Because what did the scripture say? Who sinned first? Eve did, man. And through the woman we all die, man. Okay? It's judgment, man. Thus saith Yahawah.
Most will need to be identified through DNA samples from family members who they are contacting today and working with. 100 calls at least so far from family and friends who believe loved ones were on board. And authorities say they will work exhaustively to figure out how and why that fire started that claimed all those lives.
Expending all necessary means to find out the cause and origin of the fire aboard this vessel.
The cause of was the Heavenly Father Yahawah, man. That's why.
We're sensitive to the fact that
And
families
these devils was out celebrating Labor Day,
from
man.
outside of the area to bring their loved ones home, and in many cases will only be faced with.
Yeah, they back at home now, man. They in the spiritual realm right now. Okay, they in the spiritual realm. They back at home.
The ability to know that we recovered them.
Other questions answered at this press conference. The Coast Guard says vessels like the Conception are inspected annually, and this boat was in compliance. A Mayday call had raised some questions about if the escape hatches may have been locked or if there may not have been fire extinguishers on board. The Coast Guard official this morning clearing that up, saying there are no locked doors of that kind on vessels like this, and these boats are required to have fixed firefighting systems and a number of fire extinguishers. And again, this boat was in compliance with regulations. Now, back out here live. The cause of the fire remains a mystery, and as authorities, as first responders look to get evidence from the bottom of the sea and to recover those victims, a painstaking process, that's what will be going on today, along with beginning to collect those DNA samples.
Hey, the fire wasn't a mystery, man. Hey, what did the scripture say, man? Yahawah is a consuming fire, man. Okay? He is great and terrible, man. He's a consuming fire, man. Okay? So Lord, witness edifying. Shalom.